I'm Julie Burns and I'm a collections specialist.
And I'm Morgan Brooks. I'm the collections cleaning assistant and we're a part of the
collections and exhibition team at the New Zealand Maritime Museum. It's kind of like this in-house joke that everyone that works in collections are like massive nerds, and it's just true. Like we'll find something
so exciting
and then we get really excited, and then we'll go and read up about it, and then we'll fall into this like rabbit hole, and then like 3 hours later you're like, oh my gosh, I'm an expert in this now and it's so cool. And then you'll go home and tell your friends, and sometimes your friends are like, why is that cool? And you're just like, you just don't get it.
And then they all get a lecture on these subjects that they didn't ask for.
Yeah, no, but it's fun times. Collection care in a nutshell is just the basics of climate control, storage and housing, and pest management. We have to sweep the entire museum once a month for pests, and we have to make recordings of it. And then if it comes to it, we have to do treatments, and sometimes those treatments can be really big. If we need to do a borer treatment, for example, it could take up to 6 hours. At the museum, we try to keep everything between 19 to 21 degrees and between 45 to 55% humidity. That's the perfect zone for all collection objects. And it's kind of lived by the rule of keep it out of the light. Anything out of direct sunlight is going to live longer.
And probably the other surprising thing is dust as well, how problematic dust can be for a lot of the objects. So going around and cleaning the objects that are particularly in the gallery, which are more open to dust, is a really important part of it.
It's important to note that there's a really big difference between restoration, preservation and conservation. We don't have an on-site conservator. So the best that we can do in the collection care team to protect the objects is to do basic cleaning. It's hands-on stuff, but it's only light, nothing too abrasive.
It can be as simple as just wiping down an object to more intricate work with a cotton bud, just trying to care for them as best we can, as well as looking out for if there's any damage to the objects. So I will record if there's any sort of damage that we come across, and this could be simply just insects, or sometimes we come across mold on some of the objects that are out there. One of the risks can actually be the visitors themselves touching the objects, so we have to look out for that as well.
Collection handling, the basic protocols, which is just across the board, is that you always handle something with 2 hands. You never use only 1 hand unless you have like the one little exception to the rule. It's so small, like a button, you don't have to use 2 hands to hold a button. Yeah.
And then it's always about wearing the gloves when you're handling that as well.
For example, I've got these eggs that I'm about to bring out for an upcoming exhibition, and they are paper thin. So first of all, just handling them is the biggest step in my opinion. And then trying to clean them, it's a whole nother game set. I'll have to do a lot of research into the best approach for that. It's one of the things I always do before I clean something I've not cleaned before, is I read up on it, and I would contact a conservator or a friend who's done it before and ask them their best advice, and usually get it that way.
What we do here at home, I'm way more patient, and I'm a lot better at how I actually clean my own house.
Yeah.
Because it is just so satisfying to see the difference and putting in the time and care to the objects, and then just in your own life, I guess.
A lot of museum people just collect
some sort of collection.
Yeah, we collect ourselves for fun, and my collection is China, specifically crinoline, and I keep them in a display case at home, but I've actually changed the glass on the front doors of the display case to be high quality art glass, so I can protect it from the sun.
And I collect rocks, which don't require as much worry, but I do keep them in a very sealed case and under my bed so that they're not getting any light.
Yeah, so we all have our little
quirky
practice. I think I also really like to overcompensate when I'm like using bleach at home, because I can't use it at work.
Yes.
So like, I need to clean
Definitely.
it. I really like the hands-on side of my job. Like, it's so much fun to physically go through these objects, and obviously when you're going through them you have to read up on them, and then you just start to learn about the provenance. The provenance is always the exciting thing, and making those connections to the people.
Yeah, it's just incredible.